Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I'm very excited for today's podcast episode because it is kind of like a little mini coaching session. So in today's podcast episode, I'm going to be answering all of your social media questions answered, all about weight loss and healthy eating. So today's episode is all about coaching for busy women. And I've wanted to do this one for a long time because I am often scrolling on social media. Obviously, I'm like posting tips and recipes and ideas. And then obviously myself, I'm scrolling and I'm reading comments and having a look at things on social media. And I see it daily, over and over and over again, time and time again. Confusion, overwhelm, struggle, stuck in these dieting cycles from women. And women are not lazy. That is what I have discovered. Women are not lazy. They are just overwhelmed and confused. And I'm sure that you probably feel that same way. It's like you want to do the thing, you are ready to do the thing, you're ready to try, but you just feel overwhelmed and confused. You're not sure where to start. You're not sure what to do. So that kind of leaves you stuck in that holding pattern where you don't actually start anything at all. So I have trolled and scrolled the internet, okay? And I've picked out the top questions and not just the top questions, but the most repeated questions. So when I'm answering one of these questions for you, it's not that I've seen it once. I may have seen it 50 or 100 times over like the space of a week. They are the top questions, the ones that I see come up over and over again. So I thought in answering them for you today, that they can then help you to start get some of that clarity and that understanding that you need so that you don't feel so overwhelmed, you don't feel so stuck, and you can stop feeling like you're lazy or that you lack willpower or discipline, because I promise you that is not the issue that you are having. It's just that you are overwhelmed, confused, and you don't know where to start. You don't know how to do it. You don't know what steps to follow. And that's what's leaving you in this holding pattern where you're not doing much at all. Okay, so these are going to be most likely ones that you have thought about, or that might have come up in a chat or a conversation with your girlfriends or at work with someone over food or healthy eating or weight loss. I have scrolled all of the platforms for these. So I've scrolled Threads. If you don't know what Threads is like the Twitter for Instagram. So some people are on it, some people aren't. I mean, it's been around for a little while now, but it's still quite relatively new in the space of social media. So Instagram has its own sort of Twitter where it's like a feed where people can comment and ask questions and write those kind of things. It's called Threads. So I've got Threads, I've checked TikTok, I've checked Facebook. Oh, Facebook's an interesting one with the mums on Facebook, and also Instagram. So I've checked the main platforms. These are questions, comments, asking for advice. And like I said, I've just picked out the most common ones, the most repeated ones, because I think that these are really going to resonate with you too. And to be honest, I love this stuff. Like, this is my jam. I freaking love when a woman comes to me and she's like, Jen, and she asks me a question and I'm like, and they go, wow, you can hear that sigh. You can hear that. Oh, okay. I get that now. Thank you. Like, I just coaching and helping women and teaching them is just my jam, and I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited for today's episode because I really truly believe that you're going to get a lot out of it. And like I said, one, if not multiple of these questions you are going to resonate with. You're going to go, yeah, I thought that too, or I'd love to know the answer to that too. So let's jump in and do our coaching call for busy women right here today on the Healthy Her podcast. Okay, question number one. And like I said, found these everywhere. So it's not just Facebook, it's not just Instagram. These are ones that I found. I have tracked them as the most common and also the most repetitive. So question number one. Today is my second day exercising. I'm trying to tone my body and lose this stomach. Anyone have any exercises that will help? Okay. First of all, it's your second day exercising. And I want to break this down for you so that you understand where this woman is coming from. So she said, today it's my second day exercising. This woman, and we as women believe that change happens fast. Weight loss happens fast. Toning and building muscle happens fast. It is the slowest thing in the whole world. Okay. And the sooner that you can understand that, the sooner you will take the pressure off yourself to do it in a set timeline. So this woman believes that if she starts exercising it, if she starts doing the things, that her body is just going to respond, everything's going to change, it's going to tone up, the weight's going to come off. And I want to be really clear on that. It's not her fault. It is not her fault that she believes this to be true. It's because the media has sold to us that weight loss is a 6-week challenge. Weight loss is a 2-week shred. Weight loss is a not eating bread and sugar for a month and everything will just magically improve. That is what we have been sold. That is the message that we get daily. So it is not her fault. And I wish that she would understand that it's not her fault that she thinks it should happen fast. So that's the first issue that she's having. She thinks it's going to happen fast and it's not. So today is my second day exercising. I'm trying to tone my body and lose this stomach. Anyone have any exercises that will help? You cannot get an exercise that is going to do that. No one exercise, no one workout is going to give you dream legs or a dream stomach or to drop the belly fat. It does not work that way. Okay. And she said, I'm trying to tone my body and lose this stomach. They're almost two separate things because losing the stomach is a calorie deficit. Okay. She needs to be eating less than her body is using. She has to be in a calorie deficit to lose that stomach. That's the truth. So she can do more exercise. She can save more things off the internet. She can keep doing that same thing. But if she's going and she's continuing to exercise and nothing's changing, it's because she's not in a calorie deficit. So to lose the stomach, she needs her calorie deficit. So she needs to work out what calories she should be eating and then create a calorie deficit. And then when she loses that belly fat off her stomach, toning the body, that's where the strength training and the weight training and the muscle will come through, and that will give that area that toned look. So remember, whenever you hear the word toned, toned means muscle. Women have a toned look. It's because they have muscle underneath. So if you see a woman and you're like, oh, she looks so toned, she's got muscle. Okay, she has lean muscle mass, and that's why she looks toned. So to that woman, if you are listening to this, I hope that you will be kinder to yourself. Give yourself some more time. Focus on looking inward at yourself, what you're eating, how much you're eating, create your calorie deficit, go to the gym, and then you will get the results that you want. So can you kind of see how that literally that one question is loaded with lots of different pieces for her? It's not just a matter of, well, here's the exercise that you need to do, because that's not how it works. And it's all of these misunderstandings, misconceptions that are keeping us stuck as women and why we feel so overwhelmed. All right, question number 2. This one's a little bit of a longer one. So I'm a 38-year-old woman and I eat 1,200 to 1,300 calories a day. Whenever I try and increase my activity levels at the gym, I get headaches, dizziness, and brain fog. And then I'm forced to eat more to feel better again. I skip meals often. Massive red flag. Like, this is for any of you that are listening to this. If you are doing a workout, any kind of workout, and you feel like that, it is a massive red flag that you are not eating enough food and that you are not fueling your body. She's 38-year-old, like a 38-year-old woman, and she's eating 1,200 to 1,300 calories. That's about probably less than what a toddler would eat every day. It is such a small amount of calories. And again, the question has multiple parts to it for her, because she is obviously of this mindset and this understanding that, many years ago, someone threw around that you need 1,200 calories to lose weight. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, that's just a ridiculous amount of food for a grown woman to eat. So it is no wonder that she's got no energy to fuel her workouts and that she's skipping meals because she is hungry and she is not eating enough. So everyone always makes this assumption that, well, if I eat less and I skip meals, that will equal weight loss. Please hear me when I tell you this. It is not the way it works. It does not work that way. Okay, because most of the time, majority of women, and even this is the women I work with, do not know how much food they eat. We think that we do, but we actually don't. It's until we take a step back and we have a look at how much food we're actually eating that we go, oh, okay, it's this or it's that, or it's not what you think. And again, she may be eating 1,213 calories. She may be eating more. We don't know. We don't have the full picture and the full information, but it is a big red flag if you are trying to do your exercise and your workouts and you're struggling, that's a fueling problem. You need fuel to exercise, especially too if you're trying to weight train or resistance train at the gym. Like, that requires a lot on your body and you have to eat properly. And no, that doesn't mean you need to eat like a bodybuilder. It just means you need to eat more than 1,200 calories a day and make sure that you're having a well-balanced diet. So you can perform well when you're trying to work out at the gym or go to your Pilates class or whatever your favorite type of exercise is. Okay, question number 3. I like this one. It says, y'all healthy people, how do you combat cravings for something sweet? Because I don't want to be fat anymore and the struggle is real. So, again, misinformation. It's not the sugar and it's not her sugar cravings that is making her fat. She has consumed more calories over a period of time that has led to weight gain. That's it. So, in order to get that off, she doesn't need to cut out sweet things. She can still enjoy the sweet things. All of our Hype Girl members have dessert every single night and snacks in the afternoon and sweet things and lollies. And like, there's nothing that's restricted and there's nothing off limits. And they can do that because they understand how this all works and how it all fits together. So she doesn't need to combat her sugar cravings to lose the fat because she says she doesn't want to be fat anymore. Again, it's that focusing on that one thing in isolation when she's not looking at the bigger picture. Weight loss is a science. It is a numbers game. You need to know what you eat. You need to know how much you eat. Okay. When she does that, then she can create a calorie deficit and she can start to have success instead of going, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad person because I eat all this sweet stuff and this sweet stuff is making me fat and I'm a bad person and the struggle's real. And because that's all she's focusing on. And the likelihood of her getting out of that without some help is pretty slim because she's stuck in that cycle of, well, I'm fat because of the sugar that I'm eating and that is the sole source of my problem. And I guarantee it's multiple things. It's that she's probably overeating. She's probably not exercising at all. She probably sits all day at a desk in a job. She probably eats a high carbohydrate diet with very little protein. All of these things impact her sugar cravings and how that she's going to eat and how she's going to lose weight moving forward. But she doesn't understand, and that's what is keeping her stuck. So for her, it would be work out what you eat, create your calorie deficit, and start to incorporate the sweet things that you love into your plan, and then you don't feel like you're restricting or missing out. When you understand food, you understand that no food is off limits. You can literally eat whatever you want because you understand how it fits into the whole scheme of things. Okay. It's back to this whole thing that we get stuck in as women, that we look at things in isolation. So this woman is just looking at her sugar cravings in isolation and that's it and nothing else. Okay. And that's what's keeping her stuck in this place. So it's taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture and focusing on what actually works. Because the thing that's I find most frustrating about when I read through all these comments and these questions is that these women are smart. I can guarantee you these women are really intelligent, smart women. It's just they're overwhelmed and confused and they're focusing on all the wrong things. That's it. So when you give them what they need and when you give them the information and when you teach them, they know what to do. And that's the thing. And that's why I find it, as much as I love being able to help, I find it really difficult scrolling on social media and seeing these kind of comments because I just literally just want to scream through my phone and go, please, please, please stop and please listen because you're just wasting your time and you could be experiencing success if you just took a detour and just started looking at things a different way.
I've lost 15.7 kilos now. all while juggling busy life. I'm a working mum. I have perimenopause and have chronic illnesses, and it's just so easy with the Hype Girl membership.
Okay, number 4 of our social media questions that are very repetitive and that I see come up the most. And this one would have to be up there, I've got to tell you, up there with multiple times a day. I would say that I would see this in some form. Number 4, I need to lose fat fast for my friend's wedding. I've cut out bread and sugar, but it's not working. Suggestions, please. I just have to take a breath because it's, again, whilst I love doing this, I struggle because, like I said, I literally just want to contact this person directly and go, can I please help you? Like, please let me help you. So, first of all, you can't lose fat fast. Losing fat is a slow process. Our bodies are not robots and they don't respond to stuff straight away. So, losing fat takes time. We recently had a woman in the membership and we have a Monday post in our Facebook group where we set our intentions, we celebrate wins, we talk about if we've lost weight, all those kind of things, like a really good way just to reset and focus for the new week. And we had a Hype Girl member and she posted, she's like, well, I've lost 0.7 kilos this week. And she said, and then in little brackets, she put, oh, but that's not very much. And I jumped in and commented straight away. I'm like, that's actually a really good amount of weight. But again, it's because we've been taught as women that, if I lose 300 grams, that I haven't somehow succeeded. Or if I don't lose a kilo a week, that it's somehow not good weight loss. And it's not true at all. Weight loss is 100 grams a week. Weight loss can be 300 grams a week. Weight loss can still be nothing each week because you're doing other things that are not showing on the scale. So you can't lose fat fast. It just doesn't happen. It is a slow process. It is a steady process. And when you get your head around that, you'll start to take away the pressure that you put on yourself to do this stuff in a short amount of time. Now, the other one she said, because remember, a lot of these questions have a few parts that I need to break down. So she's cut out bread and sugar, but it's not working. Bread and sugar are not her problem for weight loss. It's not. It's just not. She's probably not moving, not exercising, eating way too much, and has no idea what her daily calories are or how much she eats or how much protein she eats. It's not the bread and the sugar. Again, she's just clutching at straws and trying different things and hoping that they'll work. It's like that saying, what do I say, like throwing like mud at a wall and like hoping that it's going to stick. That's exactly what she's doing. She's desperate and she wants to lose that fat fast so she can feel really good in her dress. So she's like, I'm desperate, so I'm going to try all of these crazy things. I'll cut the bread, I'll cut the sugar. It's not working. Please help me. Okay, so that question does have those multiple layers to it. Okay, next question. What is the best exercise for my legs? I need to lose the weight. Again, we touched on this one slightly earlier on. There is no best exercise. Don't you think think about this, you're a smart woman, right? Like think about this. If there was a best exercise for weight loss and for us all to get a dream body, don't you think we'd all be doing it by now? Like it's just the reality of it. There is no best exercise for my legs. And again, I really want to stress this. There is no best exercise for your legs because you can't spot reduce fat. All right. So you can go on a diet, you can be in a calorie deficit, you can be eating the right amount of food for you to succeed, doing all of the things. You can't choose where that weight comes off. Okay. You can't go, well, I just want it to come off my belly, or I just want it to come off my arms, or I just want it to come off my legs. You can't spot reduce fat. So you can't choose where that fat comes from. The fat will come off from all over the places. And in my personal experience, I have found the places that I hated the most, for me, it was like my legs and my bum and my thighs and all that, is the last place that you'll lose the weight. And I don't know why exactly, but I kind of had this theory that maybe it's sort of like a push, as in, do you really want this? So we'll take the weight off everywhere else, and the place that you hate on your body the most is always the last to go. And I feel like it's a test. It's like a test of, do you really want this? Are you prepared to work a little bit harder to get that last little bit of a result? That's my theory anyway, but I don't know. I've just found that to be my personal experience, that it's always the last thing to go. But there is no best exercise for your legs, okay? Because you can't lose weight off your legs. You can't spot reduce the fat. You can't choose where the fat comes from. And for her solution, calorie deficit. Again, I've talked about this a lot, calorie deficit that she needs because she needs to lose the body fat. And if she wants to work on her legs, then I would be doing weight training. thinking squats and hip thrusts and all of those compounding weight training exercise, because that will give the shape and the tone that she wants. So there's two things she has to do. She's got to lose the body fat through a calorie deficit. So that's losing the fat. And then she wants to tone and shape her legs. And that's through exercise and through weight training exercise. Okay. All right. Next question. Ooh, I feel like, I reckon this has got to be up there too with most. Like, these are all most and really repetitive questions, but there's a couple that are definitely like top tier all the time. I see them every single day, multiple times. Why is weight loss in perimenopause so hard? I feel like my body won't respond to anything I do. Now, there is a massive misconception and a misunderstanding that women in perimenopause and menopause need a different type of plan and routine in order to have weight loss success. And you don't. It's just that your body is not responding to the same stimuli as it was when you were 20. So if you think about it, like in your 20s, what do? You eat a lot, you probably drink some, you don't really exercise a whole heap. You can kind of eat most things. It doesn't really matter too much. When you get a bit older and when you hit your 40s and 50s, your body doesn't respond to that anymore. And your body likes you to take care of it. Your body likes you to feed it protein. Your body likes you to do weight training because that helps with your insulin levels. Like, there's all of these things. And it's not that, our bodies have changed and we're broken and it's, can't lose weight because of my hormones. It's not that. The same basic principles to weight loss apply whether you're 25 or whether you're 45. It's just that your body is responding a bit differently. And that's all. Okay. And I can guarantee, and I find this with women that I work with and talk to, is that, women will come to me and they're in perimenopause and they're like, but it's like, will you ask them, are you walking every day? Nope. Have you done any weight training? Oh gosh, I haven't been to the gym for years. Do you eat any protein with your 3 main meals? Oh no, absolutely not. Like, I have a bowl of cereal for breakfast. Like, there's so many things that you can literally quickly and easily start to change to start getting the results. And our hype gals are proof. We've got one woman in perimenopause in our group and she has lost 17.3 kilos. I interviewed her on the podcast. You can go back and listen to Kel's episode. And she then was, I think she was around 11 and a half, 12 kilos around at that time. And she's still losing and she's 17.3 kilos. And she's not doing anything drastic or different. She's not cutting out food. She's not on some special menopause diet. She's following the basic principles and she's getting the results. And like I said, she's just doing those wellness things and doing them consistently. And that's it. And it doesn't need to be this. But again, as well, I do believe that the media has a bit to do with this. And I am noticing as well to a lot of people like, join my plan for the menopause diet it's still the same. They're still following the same basic principles, high protein, weight training. It's just those things that your body needs as you get older to help you to maintain your weight. And you'll see it. You've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. You scroll social media and there's some woman in her 50s and 60s and she's at the gym working out. She looks amazing. She's toned. She's lean. That's because she's just doing those basic principles and she's doing them well. She's not broken. She's just looking after herself better. Whereas when in your 20s, you can pretty much get away with whatever you want and it doesn't have an impact. Whereas when you hit your 40s and 50s, things are a little bit different and our body does respond differently to those things. All right, next one. I'm tired of feeling overweight, but I just eat so much at night. I've cut out pasta and bread at night. What else will work? Again, breaks my heart. Like, truly, truly breaks my heart. Again, I just want to contact this woman and go, please let me help you. Please let me help you. She doesn't have to feel overweight anymore. She doesn't have to feel overwhelmed anymore. She doesn't have to feel confused anymore. Again, not her fault. It is not her fault. It is not your fault. It is society's fault that you are feeling overwhelmed and confused. So please, if anything, stop beating yourself up because it's not your fault that you believe these things about food and exercise and weight loss. So again, she's thinking, okay, well, I'll cut out pasta and bread at night and then that will help me to eat less and help me to lose weight. I'm going to explain this to you. Women use skipping meals and eating less and cutting out food groups as a technique to make up for food that they have overeaten on. So what women do is they go, I had a massive blowout on the weekend. I ate out. I've had wine. I've eaten so much. And then we got kebabs on the way home and I'm just, and I had to have pizza at my kids' sports carnival and I feel so bad. So I'll cut out pasta and bread and I'll skip some meals. and oh, that will make up for all the food that I overate on over the weekend. It's not how it works. Be great if it did, doesn't work that way. And that's what this woman is trying to do. She is like, well, I'm eating so much at night. So if I cut out the bread and the pasta, that's going to work, right? It doesn't work that way. She needs to know how much food she eats. She needs to be in a calorie deficit because then she'll know exactly what she's doing, exactly, and again, as well, too, when you start to learn this stuff and you start to master this skill, you don't do these things. You don't try and cut pasta and you don't try and cut bread because you're informed, you're knowledgeable, you're skilled because you're making choices from a place of knowledge instead of just hoping and guessing and Googling and wishing and, well, I'll just try this random thing and hope that it works. And then it doesn't. So you feel like a failure. And then you go and try some other random thing and that doesn't work. And then you feel like a failure. And it's really bad for your self esteem and your effort and your willpower. And it does have a long term impact on you and how you actually show up for yourself and how you work on your wellness goals. Okay, next one. Girls, I'm trying to lose belly fat. What should I do? It's been 4 years and no results. Again, I can guarantee, first of all, as we talked about earlier, I want to lose belly fat. You can't spot reduce where the fat comes from. Okay? You can't choose where the fat comes from. It will come off everywhere and probably eventually that place lasts, but you can't choose. So if you go into a diet or a meal plan and you're like, I'm just going to lose it here, you're setting yourself up for failure because it doesn't work that way. It'll come off everywhere. Okay? Because that's the way it works. So that's her first misunderstanding, her first misconception that she has. So thinking that she can lose just the belly fat and not fat elsewhere. It's been 4 years and no results. Now, again, I don't know her personal story. I don't know her background. I don't know what she's tried, but I can guarantee you that she's probably just tried random things. Like the previous woman, she's probably tried cutting out pasta and sugar and she's done that for a while. She's probably tried skipping some meals. She's probably tried not eating takeaways. She's probably tried cutting out her morning coffee. If you're still doing something after 4 years and nothing is changing, you need to do something differently. And that's the truth. It is not working. And it's because, or she may be over exercising, like just totally disregarding her food and just focusing on exercise and nothing's happening. And so that's why she's getting annoyed at herself. And this is what I want you to understand. And this is one big thing I hope that you'll take from me answering and coaching you on all these questions is that there is a literal solution for every single problem that you are having around food, wellness, exercise, cravings, overeating, whatever it is. There is a literal, simple solution for every problem that you're having. It's just that you don't understand what it is. That's all it is. Okay, and that's why we run 2 live coaching sessions in the Hype Girl membership because women can ask their questions just like these, and I can say, let's not do that. Let's stop focusing on that. This is why this is happening. They get the clarity that they need and then they can move on and they can stop focusing on things that won't actually work or won't actually move the needle forward. Okay, next one. This is because I think I wrote down 10. Yes, I've got 10. Okay, so question number 9. I've lost all motivation to exercise and with my weight loss, it's just gone. I don't know what happened. I've not felt like exercising. What happened? Normal. Completely normal. Totally 100% normal. You will not always feel like exercising. I don't always feel like exercising, but I just go because I know that it's good for me. And I know that when I go, I will feel better, I'll sleep better, I'll have more energy. Like I can sort of project myself into the future version of me now because I've shown up for exercise so often when I didn't want to that I know what's on the other side. So I can push past that. Well, I don't feel like going and I'm not motivated. I just want to stress it's normal. And again, it's because this woman has been taught that you have to lock in. It needs to feel hard. You should be focused and in the zone and 100% into your healthy eating and weight loss every single minute of every single day. And it should feel like this. It doesn't have to feel like that. You just go because you're working towards a goal and because you know that it's a good thing for you. You don't have to feel motivated. You won't always feel motivated. And I really want to normalize that because I'm a healthy person. I work out regularly. I don't feel motivated all the time to go to the gym. Take my pre-workout, put my clothes on, I get my activewear and that gets me in the mood. I get there and I guarantee you if I don't feel like it within 5 or 10 minutes, my body takes over and there's no motivation needed. So please know that is completely normal. You're not broken. It's just that you've been sold and taught that you have to feel like it all the time. You have to lock in. It has to feel good and you have to feel pumped. And that's not reality because it's not maintainable. It's not something that you can do for the long term. And number 10, which is our lucky last coaching call question for today, calling all the ladies, I need some help. I train 4 to 5 days a week. I'm in a deficit. I drink my water, yet the scales won't budge. I'm doing all the right things and the scale won't move. Please help. Again, I say this is probably up there with questions that I get a lot. It is very common for the scales not to move, but for you to still be making progress. And it's because as women, we have been taught to only focus on the scale as a sign of a win. Now, as I've read that out to you, this woman says, well, the scale won't move. That's all that she's focusing on. She should be celebrating her wins, that she's trained 4 to 5 days. She's in a deficit. She's drinking her water. The scales will budge eventually. What I explain, and I do this with the women in the membership as well too, is that people and women think that, well, I've made these changes, right? So I've done my deficit, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, my body should respond. Our bodies aren't like that. Sometimes people will get an immediate reaction and that's weight loss on the scales. Sometimes it can take like a month or even 6 weeks until our body starts to go, okay, she's doing this now. And okay, we're exercising, we're drinking our water, we're looking after ourselves. Okay, she's doing this thing. So, all right. And it takes a while for that effort that you're making to show on the scale. You will not always get a result on the scale every single week when you're trying to lose weight. It's normal not to do that. It's also normal to have periods where there's maybe a few weeks or like a month where nothing's happening. But the problem is because, and this is what this woman is most likely going to do, is that she's going to quit. She's going to quit soon because she's doing all the things and nothing's happened on the scale. She's not celebrating her non-scale win. So for her, in her mind, she thinks that she's failed because the scales are the only thing that aren't showing a result. She needs to ask herself, do my clothes feel better? Have I lost like centimeters or inches? Has she measured herself around her waist or around her thighs? It's important to use other signs of data and not just the scale in order to measure our progress because the scales do not and will not tell a full picture. They just don't. They do not tell us that. Okay. So it's really, really important to not focus just on the scales and to focus on those other signs of progress because the scales will not budge consistently. They will not move down in this nice, neat fashion that you want. And if they don't, that's when you'll quit because you'll go, well, I'm doing all the things. I must be doing something wrong. This isn't working. And so this woman is going to quit. So it's really, really important to not focus on the scale solely and to focus on those non-scale wins as well. And like I said, she had heaps. If she's training, she's drinking her water, she's doing all the things. She needs to celebrate that. And I can guarantee you that she's probably, if I could talk to her, she would probably say, oh, well, actually, yeah, like my skin's been better and I've been sleeping better and my jeans feel a little bit looser. And I guarantee there's other things. It's just that she's been taught that the scale is that only way of measuring that progress. Wow. Lots in there, lots and lots and lots of tips and ideas in there. But I really hope that you've gained some clarity from today's podcast episode and that it's made you reflect and made you see that this gets to be easy if you want it to be, if you start to look at things differently and if you start to do things differently. Okay. And also to let me know, send me a DM over on Instagram if you loved today's podcast episode, and I will definitely schedule more of these in where I'll go through and jump onto social media and find these questions and answer them for you live on the podcast. So let me know if you've loved it and I will make sure that I schedule more of these episodes in. Don't forget to, it's not your fault that you're overwhelmed and confused. It's just that you're missing that knowledge and that understanding. And like I said, there is a simple solution to every single problem that you're having around food. It's just that you have to need to learn what it is. And that's it. Like you're a smart woman and you can totally do this thing. Absolutely, without a doubt. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.